Hello friends, hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Sean Vasquez and I am so grateful that you have found your way here. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about our homeschooling journey, sharing how I do my record keeping, some of the activities that we do, and how learning happens around here. So without further ado, let's just get right on into it. Now, for those of you who don't know, I have a 5-year-old son named Soul, and we have always been very hands-on with his education and learning. Montessori and Waldorf and unschooling methods are something that I became interested in very early on, and I have read several books on and just done a ton of research on those topics. So we began implementing many of those learning tools and activities into our daily lives since day one. We have always made sure that Soul was in charge of his own learning, making his toys and games and things very accessible so that he could get them on his own and kind of take charge of what he wanted to play with or what he wanted to learn at any given moment, and specifically creating experiences based on his interests and really just trying to make everything fun and engaging and taking our cues from him. So homeschooling has always been a part of our plan. It's just something that fits very well with our values and our lifestyle and the goals that we have for our future. Having the ability to travel and control over our own time freedom and allowing learning to happen naturally as our days unfold is something that we absolutely cherish. And just having this time with my son and being able to watch him learn and grow and experience all of these things is something I am so incredibly grateful for. And we also feel that homeschooling will create a more personal experience and a tailor-made education based on his desires and wants and interests and needs. Now that he is legal school age, we have had to implement a little bit of structure, mostly just where our record keeping is concerned, but we still take a very child-led unschooling approach to learning. So let's just talk about legality really quickly and how record keeping is done in our home. We live in South Carolina and there are 3 different options for homeschooling in our state. The first is basically to attend an online or virtual version of public schooling, and you use their curriculum and their guidelines for state testing and different standards and all of the attendance and hourly requirements that they have. The second option is to be enrolled with the South Carolina Association of Independent Homeschools, and they help to provide a curriculum and guidance for your record keeping. And the third option is to join a homeschooling accountability association and be 100% responsible for all of your own curriculum and record keeping. So we are doing option 3, and we are registered with the Hometown Homeschooling Association in South Carolina. So this association basically serves as an accountability group. They can report to the state that our child is enrolled as a homeschooling student, and we do check in with them midway through the year and at the end of the year just to let them know about our attendance and what subjects we have been learning. Now, the legal requirements for this option are fairly simple. We must complete 180 days of schooling each year. There are no time constraints or daily hours or limitations as far as how long you have to school each day. We must teach math, science, social studies, and reading or writing. And we don't have to learn every single subject every day just to be well-rounded with each one. And we must keep a journal or log of our attendance and the different activities and subjects that we're learning. This is very loosely regulated and people keep records in a variety of different ways. I have a very basic journal where I just keep an attendance log and a field trip log, and then I write down the subjects that we learned and some of the activities that we did each day. I keep it very simple and I don't go into too much detail with this. We also must keep a portfolio with some examples of their work and showing their progress along the way. So I just have some of our worksheets in there, some math problems, some writing examples, and just some of the little activities that we do kept in that portfolio. Now, coming back to the subjects that are required and what learning looks like in our home for each of those different subjects. Math, for example, can happen anywhere. In the kitchen with measuring and dividing different ingredients, practicing timing for baking is a great example. And for older kids, you can make it a little more complicated by asking them, for example, how much flour would we need if we were to double this recipe or cut it in half? It's all about conversations in our home. Just finding a way to talk about what we're doing in a way that encourages curiosity and learning. We play dice rolling games that encourage addition and subtraction. And I know a lot of people don't think that unschooling can include things like worksheets, but unschooling is really just all about child-led learning, and my kid really enjoys doing worksheets sometimes, so we do a lot of those. I make them for him, or I find ones that really hone in on his specific interests. I try to make them colorful and give him opportunities to get creative and draw or design different things. And it gets his brain really going and the wheels turning, but it's also fun for him at the same time. We also incorporate these kind of questions into our everyday lives. Like as we're driving down the road, what numbers on that mailbox are odd numbers? Or how many blue houses can you count on the way to the library? We talk about how much things cost and adding and subtracting prices as we're shopping. We make everything a learning opportunity. And it becomes easier and easier the more you do it. And eventually he even started finding ways to do math on his own without us prompting it at all. And it's really the same for all of the subjects. We read books together. We practice sounding out and spelling the names of his favorite toys or animals or foods. Writing his name on all of his artwork or writing the names of the people or animals that he's drawing. And just drawing in general, which he loves to do, is a great learning experience. It helps him to develop his motor skills, and it just really gets his imagination going. Playing with Legos and engineering different things is one of his favorite ways to learn. Just recently, he's been working on this really elaborate model of Jurassic World theme park, and he's created all of the different dinosaurs and their different enclosures and restaurants and other buildings and structures inside of the park. And it's just allowing his imagination to go wild, but it's also working on those motor skills and those engineering skills. And I'm just absolutely so incredibly proud of him for all of the different things that he's able to create. We go to museums and the library. We take nature walks and identify different types of plants and insects and animals along the way. We work in our garden. We talk about the seasons and what's happening in nature and how those things happen. He soaks it all up, and it hardly even seems like work most of the time. Also, for science, we love to do experiments. I find them on Pinterest or Instagram, and we just make them up as we go along. It's amazing what you can do with just simple household ingredients that you already have on hand. And that's a really good segue into something I wanted to talk about, which is that homeschooling does not have to be expensive. You don't have to have all the fancy things that you see on social media. And I know Montessori toys in particular can be really, really pricey. We spend very little money on actual tools and activities. A lot of the things we have, I got while thrift shopping at the Goodwill or different local thrift stores. And the things that I do buy are often multi-purpose and serve many different functions. I plan to do a separate video soon about different activities and games and tools and supplies and things like that. But the basic gist is to find the lessons in your everyday life. Anything can be a learning opportunity if you get creative with it. And just let your kids take the lead by using their interests to inspire and guide the experience. Okay guys, I think that's all I've got for today. As I mentioned, I do plan to share other videos on this topic and some more vlog style videos just showing our day unfolding as it does and how the learning happens all on its own. If you liked this video or found it helpful at all, I would appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out in the algorithm. And if you feel called to, leave a comment down below and let me know about your homeschooling journey or some of the activities that your kids or you enjoy doing. Also, if you're interested in my future videos on this topic, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can stay tuned for more. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day or night. And as always, I hope that you do something to take care of yourselves. Bye.